How's it going, guys? It's warmed up a little bit. This video I just kind of wanted to do a little I guess vlog style, you know, to show if a Honda Civic is um has the ability to be daily driven. Um, Also, I definitely want y'all to try to help me pick a name for the car. Um, H22 Civic is cool and all to type in, but I want y'all to give me a name for the car. My subscribers, I want y'all to leave a comment what y'all think would be the best name for it. It's rough on the exterior, but internally it's well done. So, just take that into consideration. One of the things in this video I wanted to emphasize is if you have this car and you're trying to daily drive it, or just a similar setup where you're trying to do a little something with your car, and you're trying to swap the motor, run a tune on it and stuff like that. You for as far as the transmission goes, you want to drive it, maybe as it just slow speeds for a good 10 minutes to get that transmission, that gear oil circulating and warmed up. Or is the transmission tends to grind in gears if you try to push the car while the gear oil is still cold. So you want to keep that in consideration. Also, the video quality was not the best. It was very early in the morning. It was kind of a last minute decision, and my actual car mount that I used, it got stuck to the window because it was just that cold. It got stuck to the window and the Accord. So I had to use my other camera mount that was shaky, and I didn't have enough time to set up the camera itself or the phone itself properly because I was on my way to work. But I just wanted to give you guys just part one in my vlog series of daily driving my Honda Civic. It's fun. Everyone wants to race you, even when you're just cruising, and yeah, I'll explain more in the video. Hey man, y'all take care. Have fun. Alright, it is now 6:05 on January 14th, and the temperature is... Lows for that day was around 15 degrees. So I wanted to do a little vlog style video of just trying to daily this vehicle. So right now, as you can see, it's like ice crystals on the car. That's to show how cold it is. Not gonna do this video is not gonna be its best. I don't want to stop it too much, but I just wanted to show if somebody wanted to daily drive, if they did all the work I did to my vehicle, and they wanted to daily drive this car, just I guess some of the process you would go through. So you come out in the morning and you wouldn't necessarily be able to just start this car and let it run for a few minutes and that'll be it. It takes a process. I know I've kind of went over this in some of my videos before, but I just wanted to kind of go through the paces of trying to daily this vehicle. So you come out, the heat works, but it takes a very long time. So right now there's fog coming out my mouth. I got the ski mask on, my gloves on, 2 jackets on, and it's fairly early in the morning. The main reason is that's important about this video is that I let the car actually sit overnight instead of having it driving and letting it sit for a few hours. This is the whole overnight process. So this would be you coming out, getting the car situated to go to work. So the first things first, you got to go through the startup stage. So you got to go through this stage here, starting it up. And this video is going to be long. It's not going to be crazy entertaining, but it just goes through the whole process. So you get it started up and it's running, and it gives you that false sense of security, that everything is good. So you know, you kind of just let it run for a little bit, you know, and it'll start its little bogging out and all that stuff, and I guess you kind of hope it doesn't cut out. So yeah, you just kind of let it run, let it go through its paces, and I guess that's all the fluid that's sitting in it that's making it see, now it starts to bog out again. So you gotta pretty much just let it go through its and if it cuts off, you just restart it, you know. Yep, it has to go through all that. And while it's doing that, I'm going to try to cut the heat on and see if I can get it warmed up. There you go. Just keep going. Hey, babe. What you have on your slippers? You know cold out there? And you don't have on no damn jacket. Is that alright? Alright. Yes. Yeah, so it should be good now. The idle is getting a little bit better. Alright, so while it's getting completely heated up, I'm going to go through the process of you know, what you would need to do as far as driving it, especially when it's really cold. So I'm going to let it run for a few minutes while I get my lunch bag and stuff situated, you know, and get my stuff in the car, you know. But you can't just start this car up and leave it. As you can see, it's bogging out. Sometimes it'll cut off and you got to restart it a couple more times, you know. Fortunately for us, 17 degrees is not too cold, but yeah, it's actually sitting at the proper cold start idle what that it's supposed to. But yeah, you know, one of my subscribers was asking me how was the car when it's not cold. And it's pretty good, but you know, as far as when it's cold, you know, this is what you have to go through. I guess you got to take the good with the bad. So I'm going to let it run idle and you know, put my lunch bag and stuff in there and come back with the driving part of it. Got my tea, we got my ginger tea with honey. Got some thyme in it too. Alright, so now that I got the car warm enough to drive, I hope you can hear me. I definitely want to go through the paces of what it would be like to daily drive this car. Alright, so with this car here, you cannot push this car right away. You have to drive for at least 10 minutes to let the transmission fluid heat up. Now I apologize ahead of time for the shaky video. My other camera mount literally got frozen to my station wagon. I couldn't get it off, so I had to use my my in the house camera mount. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. If I am daily driving this car, I would have to speak up a little bit more than I would in my Civic, in my wagon, you know. But as you can see, it drives quite fine. Definitely need your gloves though. Your hands will get so cold. And now I've been driving this car now for about 2 to 3 minutes. The temperature gauge has moved up maybe like 2 notches. Still got to go through the paces. I'm getting everything warmed up. As far as doing a long road trip on this car, as far as I go, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're young, then you won't mind as much. I tried driving this car to Ocean City, and I got to Salisbury, and I had to turn back. I was so tired. Now, granted, I didn't have an exhaust, a muffler on here at the time. I have a back brace that I use for my back for those long road trips. I use it regardless. road trip or not. Definitely with this new suspension, it's definitely a harsher ride. It helps when you shift. That inertia doesn't transfer where the back of the vehicle will squat when you go to shift. It helps with the driving performance of the car, but as far as comfort and daily driving it don't go hand in hand. Another thing, you want to go over every single bolt on this vehicle when you pretty much every oil change. Things will come loose on this vehicle. So I'm having a small issue with the car. Car is off now. When it started up, set operating temperature. I've been driving it for a while, and I went to go punch it, and the idle would not drop. It stays here. The cons of this car also, or another one of the cons, things keep coming loose periodically because of the hard mount. Some people say that's an easy solve, putting Loctite on there, but I don't want to have hell taking the bolts off. You know, and after you drive it for a little while, you know, the temperature has gone up the halfway mark. You know, you can hear the exhaust getting louder. You know, so the exhaust definitely helps when the exhaust definitely helps when you just want to, I guess, take your time and drive through. Now the you know, the looks of the car, especially if you come up from behind, might not help you much as far as being discreet. But the color of it is not, you know, a flashy, gonna draw your attention from a mile away. But the exhaust, it works with, if you get in it, it gets loud. If you don't, it doesn't. But yeah, I just wanted to definitely do some kind of vlog, you know, for those thinking about doing an H swap or, you know, anything like that. That's going to require you getting it tuned, and it's not going to be running off the manufactured tune, whereas the most fuel efficient is going to be for me. I got it tuned for a little bit of power. I didn't want too much power out of the motor because I didn't want to wear it out. I got it tuned for longevity. But of course, you still have to run that 93 octane, which does not like the cold at all. These are summer performance tires, so they get hard during the winter. So this is third gear. That's what it's like, daily driving a car. You know, I didn't drive for very long, but this would be the process. You know, having a conversation in it takes a little bit of effort, but yeah, it's dailyable. You're able to daily it, but it takes a beating on you a little bit. You know, it puts a little bit of wear on you. One love, stay up, stay blessed.